Hi everyone and welcome back, and if you're new here, I am Prakriti, and in today's video I am going to create this pop of coral summer makeup look. This is a step-by-step tutorial including the pre-makeup skincare. The color of the day is coral, and as you can see there is some igari makeup touch to this look. That is what looks good with my bangs and makes my face pop. So without any further chatting, let's get started. The first step is cleansing. I'm using this simple refreshing face wash for this purpose. I love this face wash. It cleans your face and does not leave you with dry skin. I'm massaging it all over. Also, I'm using some water so that the face wash goes on smooth without pulling and tugging. I love to cleanse my face because you want to make sure you are not packing dirt on your skin under the layer of base makeup. So yes, I'm just massaging this into my skin. So I'm just going to wash this off, and the next step is going to be a toner. Here I am using the Mamaearth Vitamin C Face Toner and dabbing it into my skin with my hands. A toner will make sure that the pH of your skin remains balanced, and it also gives you a subtle glow. The next step is an under eye cream. This is optional, but just because I have very dry skin, I am applying it under my eyes. It will also make that area ready for concealer and powder. I do not go on my eyelid as my eyelids are somewhat oily, and I do not want to make it more oily by adding more product. For moisturizer, I'm using the simple Hydrating Light Moisturizer. Now I have a combination skin during summers, and this is my go-to moisturizer. It does not feel heavy, it gets absorbed, and I love the consistency and also the packaging. It will give you that perfect moisture layer below the base makeup. To prep my lips, I'm using the Too Faced Lip Injection. It moisturizes and plumps up my lips. The volume that it provides is absolutely amazing. I love this lip product and also its fragrance. I'm using the Wet n Wild Hello Halo liquid highlighter, and I'm applying it on the high points of my face. Basically, I'm just applying it on the highs of my cheeks, and I'm applying it on my nose and my chin. And then I'm just going to dab it all in with my sponge. I'm not using a brush here because I want the highlighter in full effect. So that is only possible with a sponge because it dabs the product and sets it in place instead of a brush that mainly moves the product, and it also absorbs a little bit of product. So yes, that's why I'm just going to use a sponge and dab it into my skin. For correcting hyperpigmentation and dark circles, I am using some color corrector. This is a Nykaa lip and cheek color. I do not remember the shade, but yes, it will be in the description. I'm applying a tiny amount under my eyes, around my mouth, and I'm blending it in with the help of my fingers. You can see I'm being very careful while blending here. You don't want the product to spread too much. It should only be limited to the problem areas. So yeah, just use your finger or a mini sponge if you have one. For the next step, I'm using the MAC Prep Plus Prime Fix Plus, and I'm just spraying it all over my face. What this will do is it will just set the color corrector and highlighter in place so that it does not move with the foundation that I'm going to apply, because I am going to use a brush today for my foundation. I just bought a new brush, so I want to try it. I want to test it out. For foundation, I'm using the Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Full Coverage Foundation. This is my favorite drugstore foundation. There is no doubt whatsoever. And I am using a PAC 265 foundation blending brush. I guess that was the number. Yes, that's the number. And I am just using it, and I love this brush, you guys. It left me with no streaks and a flawless blending. So yes, this was a really good brush. So let's come to the foundation. You can see me using this foundation in all of my videos, almost all of my videos. I have to incorporate this in my routine some way or the other. Sometimes I use it for spot treating. As you can see, the thing that I'm doing here, I'm just correcting my hyperpigmentation around my mouth. So that is the second layer that I'm going with. And yeah, I really like this foundation because it's so light on skin and it's full coverage, and I have to say that I like it even more than the MAC Studio Fix Fluid that I own. I mean, I don't know why, but I just reach for this one more than that one. Next is concealer. I like using the least amount of concealer under my eyes. Now the other day I saw Robert Welch talking about this concealer technique where he applied a little bit in the two areas where I am applying the concealer right now, and he blended it out and it looked pretty flawless on him using just the least amount of product. So I thought I have to try that out. So I tried it out, and now I cannot just get rid of this technique, you guys. It's so good. You won't waste product and you will not have a cake face in the end. So yes, it's a really good technique. Now for setting my face, I'm using a tinted powder. This is the powder that I use in almost all of my videos. It's a little bit costly, okay? Like it was around $7.99 or something like that, but it's so much worth it. It will not dry out your skin. It's such a good powder. And yes, so as you can see, I am starting with the point where the depression is visible. And I'm just going to cover that first because that is the main reason that makes my dark circles look so horrible. So you can see when I just covered that, it makes so much of a difference. The leftover powder is just going in the areas where the concealer might crease. So this is how you set your under eye if you have really dry skin. And also I'm just taking a little bit of powder and applying it on my smile lines, or where I may get smile lines. I'm just applying it in those areas. And yes, I leave the rest of my face just like that, otherwise it's too drying for me. If you have oily skin, it's a completely different story. You don't have to do this, otherwise your makeup will start melting. The next step is my favorite step, that is a cream blush. I'm using this PAC cream blush in the 04, I guess, and it's just this gorgeous coral shade that looks beautiful on my skin. I love applying blush in general, so yeah, I'm just packing it very high as you can see and blending it with the brush I used for my foundation. I'm going to use more and more and more, and this is not going to stop until it starts looking like I want it to be. So yes, as you can see, I'm just packing and packing and packing, and yeah, blush makes me happy and makes me want to dance. So yes, next I am just going to fill in my brows. My last video was a very detailed brow routine. I'm just following the same steps. If you have not watched that video, you should. I mean, it's just a 5-minute video with tons of tips. So I'm just brushing my brow hair and setting them in place, and then I'm just going to fill them in with a NYX micro brow pencil. Yes, that is what I use, and I just skipped that step because, you know, the last video was the same, so you don't have to see that all over again. For setting my under eyes, I used the Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer Neutralizer and mixed it with the LA Girl Pro Conceal HD in Pure Beige, and that will make my base for the eye makeup. For eyeshadow, I'm using the Makeup Revolution Life on the Dance Floor palette, and it's a very old palette, but it has got some perfect coral shades. The first more orange coral is going on the outer half of the eye, so I'm just packing it for now, as you can see, with this flat blending kind of a brush. It can also be called a packing brush. It was from Wet n Wild. And then I'm just taking a Morphe brush. This is also a packing kind of brush, and I'm taking this more pink coral shade and packing it in the inner half of the eye. Next, again, I'm using a blending brush from Morphe and blending the edges and just softening it out so that it doesn't look very harsh. Now the eye look is going to be really soft. Initially, I wanted to add glitter and rhinestones and all that jazz. And you know, but I thought that it won't look balanced, so I left it to a soft popping coral look. So this step is very important for me. I wing out all the eyeshadow, like whatever eye product you give me, I will wing it out. So here I am taking a flat blending brush with some orange coral shade, and I'm just flicking it out to wing the eyeshadow. I mean, I just love doing this. It just lifts your eye and makes it look really very elongated. Also, do this part only if you are really confident, because this goes wrong, you cannot correct it, especially if you are using colorful shadow. Also, I have the least amount of product on my brush. Now for metallic shade, I am using Sunset from the Roxy Into Revolution Ride or Die palette, and this is actually a Ride or Die palette for me because I actually use this so many times. And I'm just taking the shade Sunset and then Firework. I'm just going back and forth in these shades, and I'm softly packing this on the inner half of my lid. For lower lash line, I'm using the same orange coral shade, the very first shade that I use, and I'm trying to diffuse the lower lash line over the wing so that it all looks connected and better, obviously. Next, I'm using a brown coat for my upper and lower waterline. Black coat is something that I would really avoid for this look. It looks too intense for a look like this. Next, I'm going to curl my lashes and apply some mascara. I'm not going to use false eyelashes. I've not been using them for days now. I'm loving my natural lashes, and also I do not want to cover everything that I did on my eyes, not even a little bit of it. So that's why I'm just going all natural here with my lashes. Now for eyeliner, I'm again not going with something that's black. I'm using a deep contour shade first, and then I will set it with some brown shadow. I don't want a thick eyeliner, just a thin wing to go with the eyeshadow in the same direction. It will define the eyes and make them look elongated. So it's all about the elongated eyes. So as I said, next I am going to add some more blush because the amount of blush I applied earlier was not enough to go with this eye look. So I just felt like I should add some more blush. Next, I'm searching for my brush with the contour palette in my hand. I don't know why did I do it, but yes, I'm just going to contour my cheekbones and jawline. This is just my normal powder contour. So yes, I'm just going to contour my cheekbones. This is a very light kind of contour. I'm going in with a very light hand and with the least amount of product because I don't want it to look very much chiseled and all of that stuff. Now I am going to add some powder blush. When I told you guys that I'm going to go in with more and more and more blush, I was really not kidding. So yes, I'm just taking this blush from Maybelline. This is one of their color show blushes, and I am applying it on the, again, high points of my cheekbones where I applied the cream blush just to set it in place and, you know, make it look even more blushy, whatever. For highlighter, I'm using the slightest amount of Maybelline Master Chrome and Molten Rose Gold and adding it to the highs of my cheeks. I am also going to blend it with my fingers. Also, I'm going to add some on my nose and my chin and my cupid's bow. And the final step is going to be the lips. Now you guys, you can see this shade is wild. This is the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink in Heroine, I guess. So I am applying this on the center of my lips and blending it with my fingers. Now you can also apply gloss or you can leave it to this. So I'm just adding some gloss and I'm just dabbing it in place. I am also highlighting my brow bone and my inner corner, which honestly I forgot doing, and I'm doing it now. So there you go with another quarantine look. I honestly make these super chilled out videos to calm down the intense atmosphere surrounding us right now. Also, I try to incorporate new techniques that I learn. Let me know how do you feel about these tutorials, just anything you feel. Moving on, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. All the product names are listed in the description box. Subscribe to my channel if you are interested in makeup looks, product reviews, etc. That will really support and help this channel to grow. Also check out my Instagram for more makeup content. See you in my next video. Bye.